and read The Mitten. And this is the front cover, the back cover, and the spine. The Mitten, adapted and illustrated by Jan Brett. Once there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. See, it looks like his grandma is starting to get yarn out. At first, his grandmother, Baba, did not want to knit white mittens. If you drop one in the snow, she warned, you'll never find it. But Nicky wanted snow white mittens, and finally, Baba made them. Oh, look, she's knitting him white ones like he asked. After she finished, she said, when you come home, first I will look to see if you are safe and sound, but then I will look to see if you still have your snow white mittens. So off Nicky went, and it wasn't long until one of his new mittens dropped in the snow and was left behind. I don't know if you can see it, but right there is his mitten in the snow. It's hard to see. A mole, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size, so he decided to stay. So he burrowed in, that means he went inside of it and kind of making it a home. A snowshoe rabbit came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then that he saw the mitten, and he wiggled in, feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. So now there's two animals inside of the mitten. And it looks like here comes another animal. Next, a hedgehog came snuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being ones to argue with someone covered with prickles, they made room. Oh no, now there's 3 animals inside. And I see another animal coming. As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, swooped down. When he decided to move in also, the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled. But when they saw the owl's glinty talons, they quickly let him in. You could see, look at those like nails on his feet. They were kind of like, okay, we're gonna make room for him. And I see another one coming. Up through the snow appeared a badger. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left, but when they saw his diggers, they gave him the thumb. So look at how big this mitten is getting. Look at all those animals inside. They said he can make room over here. Uh-oh, I see another one. It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotted by, stopping to investigate. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. The fox poked his muzzle in. When the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. Oh, how do you think all these animals are fitting in here? Would you see something else? A great bear lumbered by. He spied the mitten all plumped up, not being one to be left out in the cold. He began to nose his way in. The animals were packed in as tightly as could be, but what animal would argue with a bear? The mitten swelled and stretched. It was pulled and bulged too many times its size, but Baba's good knitting held fast. We can see Nicky over here, and it looks like he's looking for his mitten. And then in this picture, I see another animal coming. Along came a meadow mouse, no bigger than an acorn. She wriggled into the one space left and made herself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. Just right there on the nose. So Nikki's looking. He has that one glove. He just has the one glove. He needs to find the other one. The bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze. Ah, 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 achoo! The force of the sneeze shot the mitten up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions. On his way home, Nicky saw a white shape in the distance. It was the lost mitten silhouetted against the blue sky. The mitten was flying through the air and he can see it. And you can see all the animals now. They're all laying on the ground because they got flown out of the mitten by the bear's sneeze. As he ran to catch his snow white mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. First she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had his new mittens. He was able to get the mitten before he got home. She's looking at his mittens, but one mitten looks way too big now because it got stretched out. The end.